Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. So a little over a year ago, we published a full how-to assembly video on the Yoleny 10x13 Polycarbonate Gazebo. Actually, the one right here behind me. And in that year, we've had over 50,000 views and almost 200 comments and questions, and a lot of them were around the build quality. How's it going to last? It's different than metal. Will it survive different weather elements? So in true fashion, what we like to do for all of our gazebo build videos is do a one-year follow-up. Talk about what it's experienced in the last year, if we had any issues, what those issues were, and kind of help you out as you're actually shopping around for some of these amazing products. So let's get into it right now. First off, let's talk about location. That does have a big part in it in regards to its weather and what it sees. If you happen to catch it in the assembly video, great. If not, for those that are just now watching this gazebo was assembled here in Southern Illinois. And in Southern Illinois, you get all of the weather patterns, short of hurricanes. Thankfully, they do not get those. But everything else, they get it. And that definitely plays into this particular review because you know that they get the sun, they get the heat, they get the snow, and they get tons and tons of rain. So, with that being said, the next thing I want to make sure I show you is kind of the environment here locally that my parents have that also plays a part in how well this is held up over the past year.
So one of the biggest question marks that we had as we were assembling this was how would it last under these? One might think that, hey, this is an absolute perfect location for a gazebo, full shade. Maybe not full shade, but quite a bit of shade. However, with a polycarbonate roof, we weren't sure on how the elements of branches constantly falling, leaves falling, everything else falling on top of this, would it survive it? So here we are. All of the panels, everything is 100% still fully intact. Dirty, yes, as one might expect with all the clutter coming off of the trees. But there are no cracks, no breaks, nothing has impacted this gazebo up to this point.
So let's talk about something else falling from the sky. Snow. In Southern Illinois, you get plenty of that. They've had no issues at all with the amount of snowfall that they had last year and anything accumulating up on top of the panels that would have compromised its strength. So that's great. Okay, and our biggest element that many are concerned about when it comes to these particular gazebos is the wind. Now, here in this area, they happen to be shielded from quite a bit of it. However, this past year, they had tornadoes right down the road from my parents' house, and the wind gusts that they had were over 40 miles per hour. Fortunately, the way that we have this mounted to the deck and how the deck is secured in the ground, they had no issues with the gazebo at all, any. The only thing that did happen, and this is the first time that I've seen this, but it shows on how strong those wind gusts were, is this. So on these curtains and the netting on the gazebos, they actually have straps that go around that secure it to the posts. Now, these come sewn on, as you see by the threads right here. The wind gusts were strong enough to not only detach these from the poles, but completely shear the threading holding them onto the curtains. So definitely very strong wind gusts. Thankfully, no other damage was done besides this. Okay, considering when we created the full assembly video, there were no other polycarbonate gazebo videos out there. So we went into it with just no expectations and open mind on how it would last. Did we have concerns? Little questions? absolutely. With something new and the weather that it gets here, I wasn't sure how well it would do over the past year. But our expectations were not just met, but exceeded, considering the cost of these and how affordable they are, but also how well it is done in the various elements where it's based right here. So hopefully that will actually help you out as you're making your shopping decisions and you getting to see and hear kind of how it's done. One thing that we have learned through all the various gazebos and pergola assemblies that we've made, there is one big tip outside of following the guidance on assembling, making sure that it is secured properly to the foundation of whatever you are mounting it to, whether it's a deck, whether it's a concrete pad, make sure that it's secured properly, but also in regards to the curtains and the netting that comes with these. So regardless of what gazebo you have, where you have it located can drastically impact the integrity of your curtains and screens. If you have it where it is sun exposed all day long, like we have in Ohio, your curtains will get sun bleached if you leave them hung up or strapped to the actual posts. Also, if you are in an area like we are, where it's all rural, it's by the woods, you're going to have all types of critters that want to be able to create that safe space of the curtains and turn it into their own little home, like this. We've had hornets and we've had dirt daubers all try to create little homes back behind these particular curtains in various instances. Also, the little ground vermin, they love the nets. We know they look fantastic when they're hung up and they're tied off to the post. It gives it that nice little extra touch. But once they become compromised, then they lose that shine. So we highly recommend that unless you're planning on using them regularly, opening them, closing them, go ahead and take them down, store them in a storage container, and pull them out whenever you actually need them for some function or for protection of the elements while you're enjoying the gazebo. In closing, all of our gazebo and pergola videos are 100% unbiased. We want to make sure that we share both the pros and the cons for each of these particular products because they are not cheap. We recognize that they are an investment, and you want to make sure that you make the absolute best decision in them, just like we did when we paid for some of our products. So with that being said, a big shout out to our channel sponsor, Yoleny, because we could not be any happier than we have been with each of the gazebos and the pergola that they have provided to us in order to be able to create videos and how-tos for each of you. So if this episode was helpful, be sure to smash that like button. Let us know how we're doing. Share a comment if you thought it was good, or also if you have this gazebo and how it's lasted for you. Until next episode, take care, stay safe, and we hope to see you again soon. Bye.